What's good, boxing heads and fight fans around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So, Guillermo Rigondeux's former manager, Gary Hyde, the man says basically, man, don't do it, Rigo. Don't do it. That's a bad idea, man. Don't do it. Don't go up there and fight the man, Vasil Lomachenko. That's a very big mistake. Big mistake, according to Gary Hyde. You know what I'm saying? The man, he makes some good points, you know what I mean? You check it, he feels that Guillermo Rigondeux's giving up too much weight, you know what I'm saying? He says if he was still Rigo's manager, this fight would not be happening, you know what I mean? He says it's a very big mistake. I'm going to quote the man, Gary Hyde. He says, quote, Rigo is giving away weight and years to a fighter who's very special and much bigger as well. Rigo can get down to 118 pounds, and all the time I managed him, I never knew him to go above 128. If Lomachenko was being sporting, he would say, let's meet at 126. People are saying it's great. It's a great fight, and it is if you support Lomachenko. Rigo should not fight him. Rigo has beaten so many barbarian fighters, and I think he wants his scalp. I remember Bob Arum telling me nobody will ever beat Rigo, and now he's found somebody who has a chance, but he's 2 weight divisions bigger. If God forbid Lomachenko beats Rigo easily, people will be saying it's because he was too big, and that's what I'm saying. The fight shouldn't happen. If Lomachenko is that good, why doesn't he jump to fight Terence Crawford? Because he's too big? Because he's too big, that's why. And that's why Rigo shouldn't jump up to fight Lomachenko. They've been talking about Rigo for 100 years, and I don't want him to risk his legacy. He's putting his legacy on the line for money. I'm hearing he's getting paid $1 million, and I think he's panicking because he knows he hasn't got long left. He wants a big fight, and fighters like Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, and Scott Quigg have all gone up to 126 pounds. But this isn't like fighting Nonito Donaire, who was a hype job. Lomachenko is one of the very best out there. This is wrong. So these are words by former manager Gary Hyde, not Gary Shaw, excuse me, when I said that in the beginning. He's a businessman who helped Guillermo Rigondeaux get shots to be the unified champion at 122 super bantamweight. You know what I mean? When he beat Rico Ramos for the WBA strap, and when he beat Nonito Donaire for the WBO to become a unified champion. You know what I mean? You check it. I feel where this man Gary Hyde is coming from. You know what I'm saying? But the man Guillermo Rigondeux hasn't made any excuses himself. You know what I mean? He says, don't make no excuses for me. I made a video about that. Ideally, I would have liked to see this fight at a catchweight at 126, but we already know the man Lomachenko ain't about that life, man. He's not about trying to compromise or just be a fair sport. You know what I mean? That's why the fight never happened at 126 the last 2 years, and now he's making Guillermo Rigondeux come up 3 weight classes. But I always concede, man. Look when that man fought, and this was a good point. I'm gonna have to give a shout out to, I'm not sure if he subscribed to me, but he leaves comments on my channel. P Money, big ups to P Money. You know what I mean? P Money did make a good point how the man Guillermo Rigondeux beat that Japanese dude. That Japanese dude out there in Japan beat the shit out of him. Yeah, the dude might have dropped Rigo twice, but Rigo made that man grow a whole new face. You know what I'm saying? Mutated the man's face, you know what I mean? And that's where, he mentioned that P Money when I mentioned, Guillermo Rigondeux fought Nonito Donaire, who was 18 pounds bigger than Guillermo Rigondeux on that particular night, you know what I mean? A bigger, harder puncher, by all means, Donaire is than the man... the man Lomachenko, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, skills do pay the bills. I would favor Lomachenko to beat Donaire at 126 or whatever. But I do think that Guillermo Rigondeux packs the bigger punch, and he's a very good fighter, you know what I mean? Lomachenko is too, but to me, he's been a hype job lately. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? There's a few fighters who've jumped up 2 weight classes to win world titles, you know what I mean? And that's fellas like Duran, when he went up to 147 to beat Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Henry Armstrong, of course, when he was a featherweight champ, going up to all the way to beat fellas at lightweight and welterweight, and even also tried to win a middleweight strap, you know what I mean? But he fell short, you know? Roy Jones Jr., of course, when he went up from 175 pounds, went up to heavyweight to beat fellas like John Ruiz for that heavyweight WBA strap, you know, and Naoya Inoue, who is a guy I do rate high on my pound-for-pound list than Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? I've been hearing fellas shit on the man Inoue. You fellas are they so out of order, man. Because you don't know a fighter, fellas just say he's some shit, you know what I'm saying? What made him look like some shit in that fight he fought against this guy Nieves on HBO on that super flyweight undercard? The man stopped him. Did you hear them body shots? Them shit sounded like a fucking shotgun cannon, you know what I mean? You know, Naoya Inoue is a very good fighter. The man came all the way from 108 to 115, beat Omar Narvaez. Omar Narvaez was a long-time champion, numerous title defenses with his WBO strap at super flyweight. So Inoue did that, you know. You know, some of y'all fellas that y'all gassed, they ain't never jumped up 2 weight divisions to fight nobody. So what the fuck you shitting on a guy like on Naoya Inoue when he did something your favorite fighter wouldn't even dare doing? So get the fuck out of here. Man, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of fellas boxing ideologies are so warped, it's not even funny, you know what I mean? You check it, even Adrian Broner, man. Adrian Broner is a man who stepped up a few weight classes, went from 130, 135 when he beat DeMarco, went up to 147, and he beat Paulie Malignaggi, actually, yeah, for that WBA 147 strap that Maidana took it the fight right after, you know what I mean? So even at least Adrian Broner has attempted to be great, you know what I mean? Would I put all these guys that I mentioned, from Roy Jones, Hammer and Hank Armstrong, you know what I'm saying, Duran, these guys are legends. And I do, you know, even Sugar Ray Leonard, fuck it, the man came from 147, went all the way up to 160 after a 3-year hiatus, and he fought Marvin Hagler. You know what I'm saying? Even fellas like Marlon Starling, even though he lost, even though it's a close fight, some people had Marlon Starling winning that fight. He went up 2 weight classes from 147, and he gave Michael Nunn a good-ass fight. So, you know, a very close fight, you know what I'm saying? Some people have Marlon Starling winning that fight. I got to go watch it again, you know what I'm saying, and score round for round. But I know it was a very close fight. Majority decision went for Michael Nunn. But at least Marlon Starling was trying to be great, you know what I mean? He was backing up this guy, Michael Nunn, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, these guys are attempting to be great, you know what I'm saying? So I put Guillermo Rigondeaux in them categories. You know, I rate them fellas, you know what I mean? Jose Napoles tried to do it, 147, go up there to fight Carlos Monzon. He ain't win it, you know what I mean? We know what happened. Actually, only real people know boxing. They know what happened. If you don't, go do your homework, you know what I mean? But he fell short, you know what I'm saying? No shame in his game, you know what I mean? He lost to arguably the greatest middleweight of all time from Argentina. Not just that he's middleweight because he's a great from Argentina. He's a world champion, Carlos Monzon. You know, even fellas like Bob Foster jumped all the way to 175 like 4 times to fight heavyweights. Fell short every single time. But, you know, I consider, you know, fuck it, even Michael Spinks, man. Michael Spinks did it from 175, you know, skipped cruiserweight, went all the way to heavyweight, and arguably he beat my Larry Holmes, you know what I mean? That's up for debate, you know what I'm saying? But Gary Hyde says, man, don't do it, Rigondeaux. But Rigondeaux wants to do it. He's going to get $1 million. I don't know if he's desperate for money. I doubt it. Ever since he got that Rock Nation deal, you know, Rock Nation throwing around money like it's water. They gave Andre Ward $6 million, and I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Rock Nation ain't recouped that night. They ain't make even on their profits. I'm sorry. If the man at Kovalev didn't even get no money, he only made money on the pay-per-view and the gate. That was a loss right there. You know what I'm saying? But they've been throwing money around, and Guillermo Rigondeaux has been a recipient. You know what I mean? I do believe in Rigondeaux. I do believe he's going to win the fight. I've been said it, man. B-Marsh Boxing. Let me know what y'all think about Gary Hyde, his former manager, saying don't do it. It's dangerous. He's fucking up. He's going to fuck up his legacy just chasing this one fight. You know what I mean? But on the real, I hope he gets this fight and gets to beat the guy, because it'll only enhance his resume, you know what I mean? I got him number 3 pound for pound. If he beats Lomachenko, I'm still gonna have him number 3 pound for pound. That's because I don't even have Lomachenko high on my pound for pound ranking. B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all think about this situation with Rigo and his former manager Gary Hyde saying don't do it. Don't do it. This is dangerous. Don't play with your life. Be Marsh Boxing. I'm out.